What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, your daily stimulus news, and what's going on here in our country, Washington, D.C., pretty much everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Money, investing, the stock markets, pretty much everything going on here in our country. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. We're going to be hearing about Senator Joe Manchin in this video, his concerns on the stimulus package. We're going to be hearing from another senator in this video, and the timeline and deadlines in this video on what needs to be done in December. Multiple different things that the Senate and Congress needs to do in this video, as well as this. Even more states now have the new Omicron virus variant. That's right, now 12 different states now have the virus variant now, as it is literally spreading by the hour. Yep, 12 states now have the new virus variant. Here are the states. California, the person had mild symptoms after traveling back from South Africa on November 22nd. And apparently all those that had close contact with the individual tested negative for the virus. Colorado, a person was detected in the U.S. on Thursday, making it the third case. The patient was a woman from Arapahoe County. She recently traveled back from South Africa and tested positive. She was fully vaccinated with minor symptoms. Georgia and New Jersey. One woman became the first Omicron case from New Jersey and Georgia while she was traveling back from South Africa. She was fully vaccinated Georgia resident and is currently in an emergency room in New Jersey recovering from moderate symptoms, New Jersey officials said. Georgia officials said the resident was in Georgia for 2 days on her trip, coming back from South Africa. Hawaii reported its first Omicron case on Thursday from a resident who was unvaccinated. The state's health department said the person did not even have recent travel history, meaning they contracted the new virus variant through community spread, a fact that suggests that there are more Omicron cases in Hawaii that they don't even know about yet. The person had already contracted the virus in previous months and has experienced moderate symptoms from the variant. So that leads me to believe that they had the virus previously, and this is at least the second time that they caught it as well. The case was detected on the island of Oahu. Well, aloha. Maryland, the state of Maryland announced 3 different Omicron cases on Friday from residents in the Baltimore area. 2 of the positive cases are among members of the same household. One vaccinated family member recently traveled to South Africa, while the other does not have a recent travel history and is unvaccinated. The third resident is not related to the other patients and has no notable travel history, which means it's spreading. The state of Missouri announced its first Omicron case Friday from a St. Louis City resident, and they still need to be confirmed by the CDC, but officials said the woman has recent domestic travel history. State officials did not say if the woman was vaccinated. Minnesota said the second state to confirm the variant on Thursday and was found from a person who traveled from New York City and is vaccinated. The man developed mild symptoms and has since been cleared. However, there are concerns about his infection as it was revealed that he had attended an anime New York City convention in the days before, which had about 53,000 attendees. Yeah. And New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio urged all 53,000 attendees of the event to get tested. Yeah, that's a lot of people. The state of Nebraska announced six new cases on Friday, with the outbreak occurring through household contact. The first case was likely a person who returned from Nigeria on November 23rd. Wow, that's quite a ways away here, and began experiencing symptoms on November 24th. None of the residents have gone to the hospital, with only one of the 6 people vaccinated against the virus. The state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul announced 5 new Omicron cases on Thursday, making New York the 4th state to find the new variant. 4 new cases were found in New York City, with 2 in Queens and 1 in Brooklyn and another in an unknown borough. The 5 positive cases were in Suffolk County and appears in a 67-year-old woman who is at least partially vaccinated, with officials unsure if she completed her vaccinated series. She had recently traveled to South Africa. The resident from the unknown borough traveled from South Africa and tested negative for the virus on November 22nd, but a second test on November 30th revealed a positive result. The governor said the resident is a suspected traveler case. The state of Pennsylvania. The Philadelphia Department of Public Health announced that Pennsylvania's first Omicron case on Friday. The department said the case is a man in his 30s from Northwest Philadelphia who has reported mild symptoms. It is not clear if he was vaccinated. He did not detail his recent travel history. Also, the state of Utah has confirmed its first Omicron case on Friday in an older adult who lives in southwest Utah. The person recently traveled from, wait for it, South Africa, and is experiencing mild symptoms. Man, South Africa just sounds like it's crazy down there. The South Africa is experiencing, and they're experiencing mild symptoms. The resident is fully vaccinated and had the monoclonal antibody treatment. The state's health department has already determined the person's close contacts. Man, it sounds like these people that have been traveling to South Africa, it's sounds like it's pretty crazy down there. And remember, they have shut down travel coming back from South Africa now, but I don't believe it's for residents of the U.S. You know, when I look at this travel ban here from the President of the United States, it's for non-citizens. Okay, I can highlight the word citizen here, and you can see it's for non-citizens. So U.S. citizens, I mean, they have to come back, right? They have to come back to the U.S. so they can have it. I think they have to test negative here, but remember, there's that incubation period. So I mean, these people are coming back, and then they test positive, and you know it gets kind of sticky there. But you can kind of see here, it's for non-citizens can't come back from South Africa, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. So let me know your thoughts on this. 12 different states now have the virus variant, and that's just what we know about. That's just what we know about. That's just what's been tested and confirmed, and a lab has like tested the strains and stuff. Let me know where you think we'll be in 7 more days or in 20 more days. Where do you think we'll be by the end of December? Yeah. All right, so now with Congress, the stimulus package, and everything else, there's a lot going on here in December. There's a lot of deadlines, a lot of dates, and a lot that needs to be done here. Check this out.
So at the Capitol, the building behind me, they've managed to avoid one crisis. Now on they lurch to the next, it seems. After avoiding a government shutdown overnight, lawmakers are looking at a hefty pre-holiday to-do list. Let's bring in NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Sahil Kapoor. Sahil, talk us through what is on that list ahead of the new year for Congress.
And hefty is almost understating it, Hallie. Yes, they avoided a government shutdown, but there's a lot for them to do before they want to go home for the Christmas and New Year holiday. So let's go through it. There's the National Defense Authorization Bill, the massive Pentagon package that they have to get done. Senator Marco Rubio threw a wrench into that this week over demands. This is a matter of when, not if. They'll get this done. They just need to get consent to do it quickly and move some things around the edges. There's the issue with the debt limit. They have to raise that to prevent a catastrophic economic meltdown. The temperature on this one has cooled quite a bit. Chuck Schumer, the Democrat, and Mitch McConnell, the top Republican, are talking. They're not acrimonious about this like last time. It's not unclear how it gets done, but it will get done. Then, of course, there's the Build Back Better Act, the major piece of President Biden's agenda that Democrats are looking to get done. The best case scenario is they vote on it the week after next week, which would be the week before Christmas, but they have to resolve some policy disputes within their ranks over issues like paid leave and the state and local tax deduction, and they have to run everything by the parliamentarian to make sure it all complies with the rules. Unclear what exactly the timeline would be, and that's not even all. There's still some nominations, executive and judicial, that Chuck Schumer wants to get done. Now, tangentially to all of this, Hallie, Republicans have seen some infighting in their ranks in both the House and the Senate this week that would call into question how well they would be able to govern if they take control. I asked Kevin McCarthy, the House Republican leader, about this earlier. Let's roll the tape.
Could you talk about some specific policies or bills that Republicans would pursue if you're in the majority, and the clashes that you've seen within your caucus earlier this week? If you're Speaker, would that make it difficult for you to govern?
No, we're going to be quite fine. If we are given the trust to be the majority, we will tackle inflation, we will secure our border, we will bring gasoline prices down, and we'll focus on the economy.
And Democrats have a different view of this, Hallie. They say a Republican-controlled Congress would mean more shutdowns, more brinkmanship, and empower far-right conspiracy theorists like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So there you have it, the stakes as described by both parties for the 2022 elections.
Yeah, so they have a lot to do here this month. The next main deadline here that is a must do here is the debt limit or the debt ceiling that they have to do here. The estimated date is December 15th, which is growing closer and closer and closer. We're now down to 11 days away. The problem is that even if Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer come to an agreement, Mitch McConnell, he seems to be a little bit reasonable about this. But the problem is Mitch McConnell's only one vote. They still need 9 other votes from Republicans. Remember, last time around that they passed that, they only got 11 votes from Republican senators. So, but Chuck Schumer blasted them, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get 10 votes out of the 11 because there's literally only 1 or 2 vote margin there. We'll have to see here because remember that all the other 39 Republican senators voted no on that last time. So they barely squeaked it by last time around. I don't know if they'll be able to get enough votes to pass it this time. Also, remember that when they passed the government shutdown here just on Friday, they literally passed it the day of on the deadline. The day of. That's how last minute they got it done here. And remember, we can't pass the deadline here whenever they actually decide the deadline is going to be for the government default. We can't actually go into default and say, whoops, we missed it. If the government defaults, it's over. Can't actually do default and say, well, sorry, we missed it. That's not exactly how a government default works. You can't default and then say, whoops. Yeah. According to a new analysis here, they think that the new stimulus package, the Build Back Better package, will probably pass the Senate this month without many cuts to it. Well, Senator Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema might think differently, but this new analysis says that it will pass mostly intact this month. 2 analysis from opposite ends of the political spectrum actually said that looks likely. Yeah. Quote, I think the chances are very, very good that this bill will pass, and I wouldn't bet the mortgage on it, but I will predict that it's going to happen this month, said a senior fellow at the Liberal Center for American Progress. Kyle Pomeralu, a senior fellow at the Conservative American Enterprise Institute, concurred with Hanlon as the analysis assessed that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, the stated goal of the passage before Christmas, the legislation's already got the House approval last month. So Biden can sign it into law if the Senate acts and the two chambers reconcile their versions of the measure. Quote, I think that the Build Back Better Act ultimately passes before Christmas seems like a reasonable timeline. There are political challenges involved if this bleeds over into next year, and I think the Democrats want to avoid that. Democrats also could be motivated by not wanting to lapse the monthly child tax credit payments, those monthly checks that provide up to $250 to $300 per month to about 65 million children to families. If they don't pass that, the December 15th payment would be the last payment, the last monthly payment to go out. They want to extend that for one more year with the current version of the Build Back Better payment or the Build Back Better Act. Quote, the child tax credit payments, the last one would be done on December 15th. And so I think the Democrats are going to want to continue those into January and not have them cut off suddenly, the Center for the American Progress experts said. They don't expect huge changes to the Build Back Better Act overall price tag, even as moderate Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia expressed opposition to some items in the House bill, including the paid plan for paid leave and a $4,500 tax credit for electric vehicles made in unionized U.S. factories. Another issue that's dividing Democrats is the proposed lift to the SALT cap, not like salt and pepper, but state and local taxes, which refers to a limit on deductions from federal income taxes for state and local taxes. Quote, I think that's about $2 trillion in spending, including the tax credit, is a reasonable place that they will end up, referring to what's a likely final price tag, actually $2 trillion, higher than the $1.75 trillion. Noted that that's a lot of negotiating has happened this year to get to the final state of affairs after Senator Bernie Sanders, who usually votes with the Democrats and chairs his Senate Budget Committee, proposed a much larger package. Quote, if you go back to where we started with President Biden's agenda and Senator Bernie Sanders' budget, we're down to a relatively narrow, limited set of issues and a pretty narrow band of a total price tag, he said. I might expect that to shrink somewhat because of Senator Manchin, but not that much. I think 90% of the bill will stay the same. Democrats who can't afford to lose support of any of the senators who typically vote with them as they advance through the bill, the process known as the budget reconciliation, that's because the Senate is split 50-50, and they need every single Democratic vote, including Vice President Kamala Harris, to break the tie and get the 51st vote to pass this bill in the Senate. Yeah, so they really have slim majorities. They're going to need to get Senator Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema on board and Bernie Sanders, get him to agree. He's still pushing to get a lot of things in there. We're going to have to see if he's happy with the bill when all is said and done. Now, remember that both President Biden and leadership, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, have confirmed that there is going to be another stimulus package after this, which means that this bill at 1.75, maybe as high as $2 trillion, is really half the bill. Remember, Bernie Sanders and everybody said this bill was going to be $3.5 trillion. So really all they're doing is basically just going to agree to what they can pass now. $1.75 trillion is half of the $3.5 trillion. So they're really just going to pass what they can now. So $1.75 trillion. And then they're going to come back around for, say, the other $1.75 trillion after that. So really, it's kind of a part one and a part two. In the part two, there could be a large Social Security race as well. possibly the long promised $200 per month Social Security raise that President Biden has promised, and Bernie Sanders has a possible plan for as well. There's been two recent bill proposals, including the Social Security 2100 Act, that would raise Social Security by several $100s per month, and they can tax people making over $400,000 as kind of a payroll tax to help pay for that and make Social Security solvent to do that, along with several other things along the way. So those bills have actually been introduced here not that long ago, just like a few weeks ago. So there's several different things that they want to do here before. You just heard Kevin McCarthy talk about if the Republicans take back control of the House and or the Senate here in the next election, which will be in this upcoming November. But the Democrats are going to try to do everything they can to try to hold on to the House and Senate for another 2 years. So really, it'll be interesting because they're both going to try to battle, and the Democrats have another stimulus package coming after this, where they're going to try to provide as much as they can to try to hold on to that. So it'll be interesting to see what's in the next stimulus package as well. Maybe even a monthly check like the child tax credits are for adults as well that would qualify for low and low middle income adults. So I will keep you up to date with everything on here on our channel. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's free to do so you don't miss out on our videos that come out every day on our channel at 10 a.m. 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After subscribing, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get notifications when we go live every day here. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And this video is about those Social Security raises that could be coming here in the next stimulus package to raise Social Security benefits by several $100s per month. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.